Most people wait for the moment to start. The truth is, nobody ever feels ready. You only realize you were ready once you've already begun. So readiness comes after action and not before. When you're debating whether to take action on a dream, on a goal, or an idea, the readiness happens after you've taken the first step, not before. Fear and uncertainty are normal, and they signal growth, not unpreparedness. When you have fear and uncertainty about the goals that you're taking action towards, that's a signal that you're growing. It just means you're outside your comfort zone, and your comfort zone, and staying outside your comfort zone is being in the unknown. And so when you're outside your own comfort zone, when you're outside of your comfort zone and you are in the unknown, you feel like you're not prepared, and you're doing things you've never done before, that's a signal that you're growing, because you're experiencing things for the first time and you're becoming comfortable with new things. So every skill, business, or habit you build came from doing what you knew before. So you always need to do before you know how to do, right? If you just study something and then you never take action on it, you never get real knowledge. Real experiential knowledge will come from the actions that you're taking towards those dreams or goals, or towards those skills or habits. So one of the things that I had experience with this was going to the gym for the first time. When I was really young, I went to the gym in high school for the sports that I was playing, but after high school ended, I stopped going to the gym, and for a long time I was really unhappy with my health and wellness, and with my ability to be disciplined. And it was years after high school, so I didn't have any knowledge on how to work out, what to do at the gym. I had to figure all of that out along the way. But I didn't just learn what I had to do, I took action on it. The first thing I learned, I immediately took action on it. I was like, I know I can do bicep curls. That's pretty standard, right? You can lift weights, and just figure it out from there. You take the action first, and when you take that action, you gain knowledge, you gain momentum, and you gain the experience that's going to move you towards your goal, and it's going to continue your growth along the journey. And every single step that you take, so you take a journey when you're learning a skill or a new habit, and the first step is always the biggest step to overcome. Every step after that, it's a smaller step, and it doesn't feel as daunting as the very first step. And it goes back to this concept of momentum. When you have momentum of a skill or a momentum of a habit, you're doing a lot of things that are building momentum. You've got a lot of experience and a lot of new knowledge, and just a lot of motivation from what you have already accomplished. And every single step you take, every moment you spend on that new skill or habit, it's just going to add more to that momentum that you have, and it's going to keep growing and keep growing with every moment you spend doing that thing. And that's what happened to me at the gym. I started going. It was really hard to get started. One tip that I have for when you get started is break down the first step into a lot of little steps. So instead of like going to the gym every single day for 2 hours, I broke it down to, I'm gonna drive to the gym parking lot every day, and if I'm there, and I feel like working out, I can go in and work out. If I don't, I can leave. And then after that, it was, okay, I have to drive to the gym and walk in the door. And if I'm in the door, then I get to decide if I want to stay or leave. And then after that, it was, okay, now I have to go to the gym, I have to clock in, I have to be in the locker room, and then I can decide if I leave or if I want to work out. And usually by that point, in almost all of these steps, you're already there and you're like, okay, I'm already here, I might as well get the workout in. And then after you're done, you're so happy you did it. So I was just so, when I was done with my workout, after I came to the gym and I just didn't want to work out. I wasn't feeling it, I wasn't excited, but I knew I had this goal that I wanted to go towards. And when I had this little tiny step within the first big step of going to the gym, it really created just momentum, especially since I committed myself to doing it every single day. Luckily, I was young and I had the time to do that. I didn't have a lot of responsibilities, so it was easy for me to do that every single day. And it just continued on from there. I mean, I didn't stop going every day for about 6 months, and I know that's rare, and I know it's hard to do. So I have other skills in my life that I've built. Like, for example, a few years ago, I started rock climbing, and I didn't do it every single day. I didn't have time for it. I was a little bit more busy and had more responsibilities. I had just moved to the city. The city's a busy place. You'll know if you live in the city, it's a busy place to be. There's always stuff going on and your calendar's always full. So, but yeah, so for rock climbing, I was only there maybe a day or two a week to start. And I think even on days, what I did there is when I had specific days, like I would go on Tuesday and Thursday, and I would say, it was the same thing. I had the same thing with the plan for the gym. I was like, okay, I just have to go there and put on my rock climbing shoes, and then I can decide to leave. But it's silly because then once you're there, you're very much like, oh, I'll just get a few climbs in. And then it's like, oh, I've got a few climbs in, I've got one route down, I'll try another route. Oh, I did this. So I can, now that I'm here at the gym rock climbing, usually rock climbing gyms have like a weightlifting section. So I'll go, okay, I was climbing here, now I'll go work out. And it was like little stuff like that, little tiny steps that add up that really build momentum. So I would say pay attention to the little things. They're gonna make you go a long way. So, yeah, to boil this down to a point, you're not supposed to feel ready. You're supposed to start, you're supposed to learn, and you're supposed to grow until you realize you're already there.